The WTA Finals just about to get set, so with that being said, it's time to do a little preview and prediction of this year's 2024 WTA Finals. Going to be a fun tournament like it always is. If you guys have seen it, right, there's going to be two groups of four. They're going to play a round-robin format. Top two advance then to what is a traditional semifinal type of a matchup. So let's get started by breaking down each of the sections before we do the prediction at the end. Let's get started to what is labeled as the purple group. Within this group is Aryna Sabalenka, who as of late, red hot. As you guys know, she won Cincinnati, she won the US Open, had a pretty decent showing at the China Open before then winning at Wuhan. She is playing red hot. Also in this group is Qinwen Zheng, another player playing red hot. Remember, winning the Olympic gold medal on clay, made it to the quarterfinals at the US Open, then in her home country of China, had two very good showings at the China Open and in Wuhan. Now coming back to Elena Rybakina, we haven't seen her in a meaningful period of time. She's been banged up, dealing with some injuries. Kind of curious to see how Rybakina is going to perform in this tournament, just given that we haven't seen her in a meaningful period of time. And last but not least is Jasmine Paolini. What a year for Paolini. Best year of her career. Made the French Open final, made the Wimbledon final, also won a WTA 1000 event in the earlier part of 2024. She has not been playing super well as of late. Absolutely deserving to be here in the final 8 players, but she's going to have to pick her game up if she's going to want to advance out of that purple group. Now, like I said, we have two groups. That was the purple group. Here now is going to be the players in the orange group. And this one here, murderer's row of players. We have Iga Swiatek, who, as you guys know, going through a coaching change at the moment, working with the new coach. She hasn't played in a little bit of time here. Curious to see how all of that's going to play out for Iga Swiatek. There's a lot of unknowns surrounding Swiatek. And also want to remind you guys, too, that Iga Swiatek is your defending WTA Finals champion. She won this tournament last year in 2023. Joining her is Coco Gauff. Gauff, talk about a resurgence here in the later part of 2024. After the US Open, separates with her coach Brad Gilbert and has been red hot since. As you guys know, the big one, winning the China Open, a big WTA 1000 event. That was a huge win for Gauff. A lot of momentum coming into this one. Also, guys, Jessica Pegula in this corner of the, in this part of the group. Pegula having a very good later part of 2024 as well. Saw a little bit of dip from her, though, after the U.S. Open. She is a U.S. Open finalist this year. She's going to have to channel that here to have a better shot here at the WTA Finals. And remind you, too, she was the runner-up in last year's WTA Finals. And then rounding out the group is your Wimbledon champ, Barbora Kejcikova. As you guys know, outside of that Wimbledon showing, not very good for her. If I had to take a big bet here, I would say out of all these players, she's the most likely one that would not advance out of group play into the Final Four. So with that being said, let's do a bit of a prediction now that we know who the two groups are. I gave one prediction already, right? That our Wimbledon champ this year is going to be out very early, will not make it out of the group play. The big name for certain that I think is going to make it out of group play for sure, Aryna Sabalenka, playing very good right now, the world number one at this current moment in time. It's going to be very hard to stop her in this tournament, my personal opinion. Also coming out of that group too, I am going to go with Qinwen Zheng, who's having a very good end of 2024. Those two players, a lot of momentum on their side. Now this other group, I think it's going to come down between Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula. Who's the person that doesn't make it out of that? That's going to be the tough one. A lot of parity around Swiatek, and like I said, Pegula at the moment, a little bit of a decline since that U.S. Open final. I think Gauff definitely advances here the way she's been playing as of late, and I'm going to go with Swiatek to join her for moving on to the Final Four there. With that being said, now for the big prediction here. I'm going to go with Aryna Sabalenka to win this year's WTA Finals. In my personal opinion, she's just playing way too good right now. I mean, just given the body of work over the last 2 or 3 months of play, I mean, she's just absolutely dominating tennis right now. That serve is so good. It's on point. You're always at the mercy of Sabalenka's racket. Now, we've seen Sabalenka blow some opportunities in the past. So it's definitely wouldn't be uncharacteristic to see something go south here. But still, I just love the way she's been playing over the last 2 or 3 months. In my personal opinion, it's going to be very hard to stop Aryna Sabalenka. So my prediction for this year's WTA Finals is that Aryna Sabalenka will be the champion when it's all said and done.